And welcome back on this Wallet Wednesday. You know, among the things the coronavirus has changed forever is the way we shop.
Yeah, we've been seeing new buying habits emerge every day in this pandemic, from stockpiling toilet paper and hand sanitizer to having almost anything we eat delivered. So joining us live now to break down some of those trends and what we could see in a post-COVID consumer world is Stacy DeBroff, CEO of Influence Central. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning, Emily and Jenny.
So good to be with you. So now, before we get down to some of those specific trends, I just kind of want to ask you overall, do you think that what we're seeing here is something that's going to change consumer behavior going forward forever?
Absolutely. It's interesting because psychologists say it takes an average of 66 days for us to form new habits. And when you think about we're now in month 5, the habits that we form and the fundamental changes that we've seen in shopping for all of us are really going to last. I think it's changed the very fabric of how we shop.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You know, what trends have you noticed when it comes to buying behaviors?
So a huge number of ways that we see, number one, cashless payments. People, even though there's no signs that germs are translated, people would rather use credit cards or just swipe and go. We have also, people are switching off of brand loyalty in order to save money, and especially with supply side issues where you might not be able to find your favorite brand on shelf. People are willing to switch to generics. They're willing to try new stuff. They're willing to look for deals and savings. 90% of consumers say that is driving their consumer behavior. So we're really switching up our brand loyalties. We've seen the end of department stores. Malls seem threatened and may be closing. E-commerce, we've become really comfortable shopping for groceries online. And now we see even Walmart is going to be launching soon Walmart Plus to take on Amazon. We have come to expect absolutely to get not just on-demand delivery, but we expect not to pay delivery charges. And this is just the top of the iceberg of how we've changed the way we think about shopping.
Yeah, you mentioned department stores and malls. I mean, I think it had already been a discussion in recent years how much brick and mortar was really having a tough time. So is this kind of the final nail in the coffin here? What could we see with malls going forward?
I think that what's happened is the COVID crisis has really accelerated, as you point out, trends that were already there. And there's been a lot of discussion. Some of the bigger mall franchises are trying to invest in anchor clients. Can they help boost up some of the stores that really form an anchor of the mall experience? But also there's a lot of talk of turning malls into more community entertainment, of ways to, next thing we know, we're going to be all roller skating around the top of our malls.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, they got to do something with all that space.
I mean,
yeah, no, because we have had so many department stores, a bunch of Nordstroms just recently closed. Stockpiling, we talked a lot about that in the early days of the pandemic, especially. No toilet paper. There was no disinfectant, still no disinfectant. What's the takeaway from all of that?
We're absolutely going to emerge from this, in our own variations of this, a nation of stockpilers. I think that as soon as N95 masks come on the market, we're going to keep this just in case supply of masks, disinfectant, of bottled water. Who knew basics like toilet paper, canned goods? I think that people are really thinking about stocking up in case we have another surge like this. And also with the COVID surging and retreating, and this unclear expectations of whether or not we're going to have to go backwards in terms of quarantining or not having the access to supermarkets then there's also some supply side issues. We just don't know if we're going to be able to find our favorite products. So I think that we are definitely going to be stocking up, and we're going to do it for quite a while.
Yeah, especially here in the Pacific Northwest, people in Oregon and Washington love buying local, love supporting our local communities. Is that being seen kind of across the country here in the pandemic? And I'm curious, is local being helped or hurt in all of this?
I think that what we're seeing, and based on our survey at Influence Central of consumer insights, across the nation, consumers are really focused on supporting local businesses. They want to help keep restaurants going by doing takeout. They're looking for locally sourced ingredients. And I think this loyalty to try to really help sustain the businesses that are unique to a community is something that's going to continue, and people are really trying to do that. That being said, the economics of a small business, even with the payroll protection loans, a lot of small businesses are folding. We're coming to a moment where there's going to be, it's unclear of the extension of unemployment benefits. So despite a stock market that looks okay, the economy is really in trouble. And I think that people are passionate about trying to help as local businesses as much as possible.
Yeah, we'll see if they can make it.
All right. Thank you, Stacy, for that insight. And of course, if you want to stay up to date on more pandemic Wallet Wednesday tips and tricks, be sure to check out the AM Extra section on coin.com.